All right, let's begin our unit on Judaism. How many Jews are there? Well, a little under 15 million worldwide. Very small number. Where are most of them? Predictably in Israel, about 5.7 million. Second largest Jewish population is the U.S. with about 5.3 million. Curiously, Jews are all over the U.S., but 1/3 of American Jews live in the greater New York area, which is why I've put a picture of Michael Bloomberg here. He was the mayor of New York from 2002 to 2014. He is a Jew. Other Jews have been mayor of New York. He has a very distinct Jewish character. Michael Bloomberg, by the way, is also worth $34 billion, so stereotypes exist for a reason. This configuration of the world's Jews, this geographic configuration, is fairly new. Until very recently, the U.S. had the most Jews. Israel has just surpassed it. And the next one, by the way, is France with like half a million. So it goes down quickly. It looked very different a short while ago. In 1939, the largest Jewish population in the world was in Poland. It had been for probably 1,000 years, and about 10% of Poland's population was Jewish. The Holocaust, of course, changed that and killed 1/3 of the world's Jews. Judaism, who's a Jew? Well, it's complex. It's more than religion. It's a tribal religion. There's an ethnic component. There's a Jewish ethnicity. There is a geographic component associated with present-day Israel. There is a political component. For some Jews, that government is very, very important. The Jews that settled Israel were secular Jews. They were not religious. For them, Judaism is that government in Israel, and in ancient history, the countries of Israel and Judah. Why then is Judaism so important? If there's so few Jews, why is this a world religion worth study? Well, it gave birth to Christianity and Islam, but more importantly, it essentially gave birth to Western culture, which is the dominant culture in the world. Thomas Cahill, in his book, The Gifts of the Jews, makes this argument. I like his subtitle, How a Tribe of Desert Nomads Changed the Way Everyone Thinks and Feels. He writes in his book, all evidence points to there having been in the earliest religious thought a vision of the cosmos that was profoundly cyclical. The assumptions that early man made about the world were, in all their essentials, little different from the assumptions that later and more sophisticated societies, like Greece and India, would make in a more elaborate manner. His point is, there was this sort of cosmic cycle. Everything repeated itself. It was all a big circle. He writes, the Jews were the first people to break out of this cycle, to find a new way of thinking and experiencing, a new way of understanding and feeling the world, so much so that it may be said that with some justice that theirs is the only new idea that human beings ever had. But their worldview has become so much a part of us at this point, it might as well have been written to ourselves as a genetic code. Houston Smith, the great comparative religion scholar, echoes this in his book, The World's Religions. Western civilization took over the Jews' angle of vision on the deepest questions life poses. Jews said, no, mankind is not locked in a circular fate. He can move in a linear fashion. He can do new things. New things can happen. We can look forward and move forward to a bright, hopeful future. This seems obvious. This is basic Western thinking. It comes from the Jews. The word Judaism itself, by the way, relates to that geographic component. The ancient Israelites had a nation. It divided into two, Israel and Judah. Judah was Jacob's fourth son. Jacob was, of course, the grandson of Abraham. After this kingdom was divided, only Judah survived. And then Judah disappeared in 586 BCE, although it did reappear as a province of other governments for another 500 years or so, the last of which was the Roman Empire, and they called the region Judea. The word Judaism first appears in the book of 2 Maccabees, a few hundred years before Christ. The Greek word is iudaismos. So Judaism comes from Judah.